Today, we're going to be running through something that we set up all the time for our clients, which is mail merge and document automation inside of Zoho CRM. So this is basically the ability to take a record, maybe a deal, maybe a lead, do a couple button clicks to create a document using data from that particular record. So with that, let us jump right on in. A couple things we're going to take a look at first here right out of the gates. So we're going to be running this process from the deals module. This is really common. This is maybe something like a contract or proposal document that you want to send out to the client, likely for signature, right? So we're going to think about this in the context of the deal. A couple things as we scroll down, we have some info here, like a proposal date. We have some of this discovery information. We also have this table of data for chosen add-ons, with some categories and quantities that are included. So how do we actually go about doing this? Well, up here in the top right under the three dots, you will see this mail merge button. If I click that, you'll note, there's no documents here, right? So what we need to do is go into our settings. We're going to go into templates. Then we're going to go to mail merge. And here is where we're actually going to create this document template. Now, I do want to note you can import a document into this UI and have it kind of pre-create the look and feel of that document for you. We're going to start from scratch in our case here because I'm going to show you some of the editing tools, but just know you can generally import your docx file and it will look decent. You will see some formatting errors that you're going to have to clean up after you do the import, but it should look pretty good when you do that. So we're just going to call this our proposal for engagement. This is just the name of the document, and we'll click create. Now, really important there that I choose the correct module to start with, because if I do this in the wrong place, it's going to not give me the right data to merge in. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn off my dark mode plugin there. I'm a dark mode guy, so turn it off for this video. So what you'll see here is basically like a docx file, right? This is not too different than using Microsoft Word or Google Docs. Up at the top, you got all of those standard kind of text formatting options, right? So I want to center a line, make a big piece of text and say, this is your Zanata proposal. And then maybe down below, I'll start to add some of that merged data and say prepared for, and let's say I want to include the person's name and the company that they work with, right? Really common page one. So over here on the right under this automate tab, and if this goes away, you can get it back by clicking automate up here at the top and then click on configure. And so in this automate tab over here, what you'll notice is I have all of these fields that I'm pulling from my deal. And you might think, okay, I'll go ahead and pull contact name from right here. You can do that. I always pull it from the actual module that it's related to. So as we look down this list, you'll see a bunch of fields from our deal. Then you'll see some fields from the account, right? Just a bunch of account fields, some campaigns fields, and now finally our contacts fields. And so essentially the modules that you can pull from are any module that you have a lookup to, right? So because I only have one account or one contact for a given deal, I can reliably tell Zoho to go get the first and last name of that contact, and I can have it go get the account name from the related account, right? So these will just pull directly into my data set here and populate the proposal when I actually run this process. That's not all. So if I go down here below, let's say I have some other data, right? So of course we can really just grab anything we want from our deal here. So maybe I'll say, here's our budget. And then we'll go down and call this our completion date. Sometimes you will notice a little bit of the finickiness as you're kind of clicking around to set these up. It's gotten better over time, but sometimes it's a little bit picky with you clicking the exact right spot. And then maybe we'll say, let's see, anything else we want to merge, we should be good. Really, we just want to show the premise here. Now, before we move on, I do have to ask, if you're finding the video useful so far, please be sure to like and subscribe down below. While you're down there, leave a comment with any questions, feedback, or video requests. And if you want to set this up in your CRM, just head on over to zanata.com and click on book a meeting. We're always happy to chat. Let's get right back to it. what about some of this other data, right? What about our add-ons, this subform of data that lives inside of my deal? So chosen add-ons. What you'll notice is if I search for that, it doesn't show up, right? Because that's not a main field. That's a subform. There's two types of subforms that can show up in this mail merge UI. One of them is the subform like this, the table that actually lives inside of the record data. Really common for like your line items on a quote or items on a deal that you've associated. But you can also actually merge in related records that are totally separate data objects, right? So let's say in this case, I want to pull in my open tasks, right? I don't know why you would do that in a proposal, but you definitely can, right? So I can come in, select open activities, and then choose which columns are important to me. So I'm going to go ahead and add chosen add-ons because that would make a lot more sense, right? As a thing that we would actually add here. And so adding one of these is just a little bit more involved. You do have to choose a repeat structure, which sounds more complicated than it is. But basically, you have a few different ways you can insert these. You can do what's called a simple repeat. Pretty rare that you're going to do that. That's basically just like rows without a header, if you think about like a table format. Then you have a table with repeating rows. This is a very common one. This is like your quote line items with that header row. You can also have your table be a column repeat if you want each of the rows in your subform to be a column rather than a row. But what we're going to do here is inserting a table for row repeats. So if you look at this table closely, what you'll notice is you've got this little kind of red-orange bar around this row here. That basically means this is your repeating section where you're going to get one row down here for each row in your table. Up here is like our labels, right? So this is where I would put like my category, my quantity, and my notes, just so that this matches exactly what I've got up here. Nice thing is, if you use like some internal terminology, but you want to present it differently to the client, you can do so. So I don't have to call it category in this document. I could call it whatever I want. Then up here, and this is sneaky, I actually had to double check this. So here I can basically choose which field I want to have inside of this repeating block. Now, one thing that is cool is that if you wanted to have a field from the deal record itself that repeats and is included in each row, you can definitely do that. Do note that like it's going to be the same every time, right? Because there's only one deal for each of the chosen add-ons. But here, I'll say category will go here. Quantity will go here. And then lastly, our notes, our custom note from CRM is going to go right there. And so here we basically just have this document populated with a couple fields from our related contacts, one field from our related account, some top level fields from our deal record, like the budget and the required completion date. And then we've included a table of data down below for that repeating block on our chosen add-ons. So what does the process actually look like to make this? So I'm going to close this tab. We're going to jump over to our deal, give it a quick little refresh. Now, one note here, I just want to mention it because I have seen people do it this way. Sometimes you'll see people come in and actually go to the template itself, go to automate, and then do the merge from here, right? And say, I want to merge this as a new document. At that point, it'll have you select the deal and pull it in that way. I don't recommend doing that. It's just a little bit more error prone because at the end of the day, I kind of get like a small UI that I have to look at to run my merge from here. So what I normally do is I come into the deal itself. I'll go into the three dots, and it really wants to send me CRM notifications. I'll go into mail merge. Now that we have our template set up, we have that option here. So I'll click on merge. One thing I will note, that step where this pops up, I see that get caught by pop-up blockers all the time. We'll have a client say, hey, it looks great in the video that you sent me, but I can't get this mail merge to work. Check your pop-up blocker. Each step here does create a new tab. And that is the most common thing that I see is that basically just pop-up blockers, they're real aggressive on these. Now, I will mention here, you can actually add more info at this step, right? And it's not going to update the template. So if there was something I needed to add, like maybe the client's like, hey, I really need my PO number put in, right? And I just want to type that in. That's not actually going to affect the template itself. That's just going to affect this document that gets created unless I click update template, right? Then all bets are off. It's now going to put that PO number in every single document going forward. But so you can make those kind of edits at this step if you ever need to. I do try to make sure that, like, if there's an edit that you have to make really often, maybe just make a different template, right? You can have more than one template here to choose from. You want to standardize all of this as much as humanly possible. Now, down here on the right, you've got a bunch of options in terms of how you want to actually do this merge. So I can merge it and send it as a new document. I can do a merge and store. This is actually really, really nice. So if you have like a field that contains a work drive folder ID, you can actually have it just like store it directly into work drive. And this is something that we used to have to use functions for, but you don't really have to do that anymore. And a really common one is that you can merge and send it for sign collection. But I'm actually going to show you a different way to do that I think is a little bit better than this UI. But so here, what we're going to do is just merge it as a new document. That gives us all the options to do whatever we need with it after we're done. So I'm going to run that merge down here at the bottom. It's going to pull that data from CRM, pull the related subform, create the merge document, and then open it as a new tab inside of this little writer UI. So now I have my data filled in actually from my deal, right? So John Smith at the Zanata Portal demo account with a big old budget of $123 million, a chosen add-on list, as well as that required completion date, all just being merged directly into the record, right? So I don't actually have to do any copy pasting. I don't have to leave Zoho at all. I can just keep everything right inside of this UI and get this document created. Now, what happens next? Under this top right little icon here that says compose by default, you'll see distribute. This is where we normally go to actually send this out for signature. You can do it from that previous step before. The downside is that it doesn't give you an opportunity to review it at the point where everything actually comes in, right? So every now and then it's like, I see this and I go, oh shoot, you know what? I was actually supposed to send this to the other contact at the Zanata demo portal account. I need to swap it and rerun my merge, right? So I like to have this step as that final review before I send things out. At that point, I can just like download it, right? So if you have a client, they're like, hey, send it as docx so I can redline it a bit before I sign off. No worries. You can just do that here. Or you can go to our send for sign and send directly out via Zoho Sign. So here, you will need to have some signer fields included inside of the document. I'll show you that real quick just while we're in here. So you can set this up at the template level as well. So if I come into our template, you can come in and add fields for signers, right? And these basically just pop up over here on the right. So I forgot to do that here, but we'll go in and add some fields. We'll say, hey, we're going to bring in our signer fields. We'll add multiple signers. Let's say one's going to be the client, one's going to be us. And then I can just drop these directly into the document. And then I'll do a signer B, and I'll just have, signature and date. Oop. Let's make that next line. There we go. That's a little bit better. So now that I have my Zoho sign fields, we'll see I have two signers. So that'd be our example customer. And then our Zanata signer. And then you can, of course, include your message, send it in order, whatever you need to do. Then I'll go ahead and say, hey, this will be our proposal for engagement. And so now at that point, if we jump into Zoho Sign, we'll now see our proposal for engagement has been created and loaded and actually automatically sent out to this first recipient. In this case, it's not going to go anywhere because there's obviously a fake email address, but that essentially comes in and sends the document for us. Now, that kind of covers it for your standard merge. One thing I do like to mention is that you can also automate like that whole process. And we oftentimes do for our clients, right? So here I have like a custom function, right? That can essentially, now this obviously isn't done, But this custom function could be used to do all of those steps, right? So, as I go through that process, if I just briefly show you real quick again, because the one downside of this is it is a decent amount of clicks. It's less clicks than doing it in Microsoft Word. But, you go in, you do your mail merge, you select your template, you click merge now, you click send for sign, you type in their email address, then you send it out. What we do for a lot of people is this send proposal button, which basically just does all those steps, right? It grabs the template ID, it grabs the record ID, it puts it all together, it gets the related contact, makes them the signer, and then sends it out directly via Zoho Sign. That's exactly how we do it inside of the Zoho CRM. So I did just want to show this at like a high level, but do keep in mind that that whole process is something that is regularly automated just to reduce the amount of clicks that are required to send out the document. So with that, I think we're ready to wrap up here for today. Just wanted to do a bit of an update and overview of document automation here inside of Zoho CRM. It's a really powerful tool, especially when you have those data structures like your related tables, related modules, many different fields needing to come into one document to be sent out to your clients. It's something that we set up for tons of our clients inside of Zoho. So with that, I really do hope that the video was useful. If it was, be sure to like and subscribe down below. That's a totally free way to help us out. While you're down there, leave a comment with any questions, feedback, or video requests for the future. And if you want to set something like this up in your CRM, just head on over to zonato.com and click on book a meeting. We're always happy to chat. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you next time.